Welcome to an absolute icon. My name is Jimmy, and this is the 2025 Canadian spec version of the 4Runner TRD Off-Road, which means it has goodies like 18-inch wheels, 33-inch off-road AT tires, a bunch of off-road software goodies, and a chin spoiler that probably doesn't help you off-road all that much. But they do give you plastic skid plates for whatever reason. Yes, you can go to the accessory store, get yourself one that's TRD branded, but unfortunately, on this trim anyways, that is not something that they're willing to just give you. But let me tell you everything, starting with some of the looks. I think the new 4Runner actually looks pretty good up here. You got LED headlamps, fog lamps, and of course that aforementioned chin spoiler on the bottom. It's blocky enough like the 4Runner is supposed to, but it's still a little bit more sporty compared to the Land Cruiser. On the side, you got your blacked out fender flares over your 33-inch Wild Peaks. Great kind of non-compromising type of tire. Good on-road and decent off-road as well. You got your running boards on the side so that, well, you're able to get in and out of the cab a little bit easier. You do get proximity door locks on the front, but sadly not on the rear. I like that they kept the overall look of the 4Runner. Like when you look at it from this rear three-quarter, there's no questions exactly what vehicle it is. And they still kept the rear rolling glass. No keys needed, just a button here on the side. As long as you got your key with you, yeah, you can roll that up and down as needed. It's a good looking truck from front all the way to the back here. No real complaints. If we open up the trunk, power tailgate of course, we actually get a decent amount of space here. Unlike some other trims and cousins of the 4Runner, this is probably the biggest amount of trunk space you can get because there's no battery, there's no third row. The floor is nice and flat. It goes all the way to the second row. You can tumble the second row if you like. You got these cubbies on the side to help you stay organized. And you also get a little like coat hook on the top. So you can put your jackets or whatever that you have in the rear. Let's check out those rear seats. Back here is all right. I'm 5'11" and I fit. However, there are a few things. Unlike the Land Cruiser where you get like a higher roof line, this, well, I see the ceiling right in front of me here because, well, they just had to drop this part here down because of the sunroof mechanism. So it's a little bit lower than you might like. And if you're leaning forward, like your head is going to be right on it. It's kind of crazy. Legroom is sufficient. It's no worse than any previous generation 4Runner. You still get vents in the center, which do look like they're from the 90s. USB-C ports, as well as a 120 volt outlet in the center there. If you're thinking of using the 4Runner as a chariot for your kiddos, you really shouldn't have any issues in here. No matter if it's an infant carrier or a complete rear-facing seat, it does fit in here, but you do have to move the front seat just a little bit forward. So depending on your height, you might get a little bit squished up. But let's move up front. Up here, the seats are kind of nice. The sculpting that's on here, the big bolsters, they hold me in nice and tight. I do get a 4-way lumbar support as well, so I can get pretty comfortable. As this is a TRD Off-Road Premium, I have heated seats, cooled seats, which are selectable right here, but no massaging seats. In front of me is your typical Toyota steering wheel by now. Thick spokes with all the buttons that you naturally would need. And behind that, a full digital cluster. Decently customizable. There's quite a bit that's inside. But like all Toyota system, you can't do it while driving. You have to be like stopped and then control it. Because, you know, safety. Sadly, no heads-up display, but you do get a speed readout on your cluster, so that should be fine. In the middle is your large 14-inch infotainment screen here. The base model comes with an 8-inch unit, but this is great. Like, my icons in CarPlay are absolutely massive. I can be like partially blind and still be able to see everything in here. Like all Toyota vehicles, it is a connected drive experience. So if you're planning to use like the built-in maps and, well, some of the internal features, you do have a subscription for that. But use CarPlay, you know, use that. Use Android Auto and you're fine. And you can even make it full screen so it covers everything that you don't really need to see. You do get a volume knob, but no track forward and back. other than what's on the steering wheel. So you do have to use the screen for that. Climate control is nice though. It's all right here in the center. You don't have to dive into a screen or anything. It is a single zone climate control, not a dual zone like, well, something you would expect for this price range. But you know what? For most people, single zone climate control, it's absolutely fine. As for the rest of the interior, it's hard plastic city. Like, you don't really get too much in terms of soft touch materials in here, other than right here in the center armrest and maybe a little bit of grip on the door handle and the center here, and that's really it. Everything else is hard plastic, but it's designed that way, so it's a wipe down interior. It's just a little easier to clean when it's that, instead of something a little bit more plush, and it's more durable, right? That's what you want in a 4Runner. You don't complain about a luxurious interior, because you won't be, especially if you have like someone super annoying sitting on the passenger side with their knees just right on that glove box. But I mean, if you're driving alone, or if you don't have someone as annoying, that won't rattle anyway, so it should be fine. Underneath the hood of the TRD Off-Road Premium, you actually get two options. Because the 4Runner, you'll get a standard 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, which this has, or you can get the hybrid trim. As spec'd here, this Turbo 4 makes 278 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic and part-time all-wheel drive. The hybrid, that bumps power to 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet. While yes, you can get a full-time four-wheel drive system on some trims, most are going to be what you get here, this part-time system. And I suspect most people are going to get this 2.4 4-cylinder rather than the hybrid version, because power's sufficient. It has a really meaty torque curve right in the center, like most 4-cylinder turbos are. So when you're driving around town and you need to accelerate, you just dip your foot a little. It's pretty good. It accelerates quickly. Sure, fuel economy is not the best. I mean, I'm averaging 17.7 liters for 100 kilometers, and I'll convert it to miles per gallon, whatever that is. So, yeah, the hybrid is going to save you on fuel, but you're going to pay like $5,000 more just to get this with the hybrid powertrain. I mean, long run, I'm sure it'll be worth it, but there's just fewer things, less complications, and sometimes when you're going off-road, a simpler vehicle just makes a little bit more sense. And what I like about this overall powertrain, I mean, the 8-speed, it shifts pretty well. No, it doesn't have like paddles on the back, and unlike some where, well, when you go plus, it actually goes up a gear, this is like the top gear that it stays into. It's a little different, but it should be fine. Most people are just going to leave it in drive anyway, so you're really not going to be experiencing that all too much. In terms of like the overall ride and comfort, I would say it's adequate. It's definitely a little bit more rough, but it's a truck. It's what you expect. If you want something to be comfortable on road, you get the Highlander or Grand Highlander. This is so that you can go into the wilderness and do all sorts of things. You're not as concerned about on-road comfort. What's nice is you still get Toyota's safety suite. So you got your adaptive cruise, your lane centering, you got all the things to keep you nice and safe. It doesn't have like the little infrared thing to look at you so that it makes sure that your eyes are on the road. So it's not going to be as hands-off as some other systems are. But I suspect for most, this is more than adequate. Overall, well, the 4Runner is exactly what you expect. It's a good vehicle. It's a good truck. Sure, they put neat little things like this JBL speaker that's up here so you can listen to tunes wherever you go. I mean, is this a selling point? I don't think so. But the 2.4, yeah, there's a lot of controversy around that. Sure, they lobbed off 2 cylinders, and if you're comparing to the generation before that, they had a V8. But you know what? Times are changing. The 2.4 4-cylinder, that's basically what we expect now. hybridize that, and you know what? It has more than enough power than what you need. Sure, it doesn't sound great. Sure, it doesn't feel like the V8 once felt. It doesn't have that low range kind of grunt to it. But you know what? I'm sure in the aftermarket world, there's things that they're going to be able to add to this to make this more capable, to make this, well, something that the 4Runner would be proud of. And I think that's really it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of the new 4Runner? Are you a hater like everyone else on the internet is? Or do you absolutely love this thing? I'm sitting kind of in the middle. I don't know where to go. But for $65,000, $66,000, it's a little pricey, but I get it. In any case, thank you so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.